teacher who likes to invent things, take pictures, and learn about all the new stuff I can. I absolutely love maps.
My name is Katya. I love meeting new friends, reading books, and writing realistic fiction. And names, I just adore people's names. They're just fascinating. We're about to take a really big field trip. Why don't you come along for the ride?
Istanbul is the only city in the world that is on two continents, Europe and Asia.
Check it out, a map!
Well, since Istanbul is a city on two continents,
The biggest.
that means the country Turkey is located on two continents. The western 3% is located in Europe, while the eastern 97% is located in Asia. A strait called the Bosphorus separates the two continents.
The Bosphorus looks like a river on the map, but it's really called a strait because it's a large water source that connects two seas. So straits connect two seas. In the case of Turkey and the Bosphorus, those seas are the Black Sea and the Sea of Marmara.
Turkey is just over 485,000 square miles in size. Sounds big, but that means it's just slightly larger than the state of Texas. That seems kind of small to us here in America, but compared to some countries in Europe, it is kind of big. Like 2.5 times the size of Italy, or larger than France and the United Kingdom put together. The language spoken in Turkey is Turkish.
Gobble gobble.
No, not that Turkey, silly. Turkish, the language of Turks. And just like here in the United States, there are variations of that language, like different accents and pronunciations for words, depending on which part of the country they are spoken. And many people speak English in Turkey.
Many people think of camels and deserts and people flying around on magic carpets when they think of Turkey. But the fact is, Turkey is a very modern and industrialized country. People drive modern cars, there are big cities, and nearly everyone has a cell phone, or at least it seems that way.
Turkey's population is about 72 million people. Here in the United States, we have more than 300 million. That means there are about 4 times as many people here in the United States. But we live in a country more than 4 times the size of Turkey. That means Turkey is more crowded than the United States. Most of the people in Turkey live in cities.
During our trip, we visited 3 big cities. The biggest city in the United States is New York City, with just over 8 million people. Istanbul has a population of nearly 12 million people. Now that's a lot of people.
We also visited Ankara, a city of a mere 4.5 million people.
And Izmir, with a population of nearly 4 million.
Now, while all of those numbers sound really big, we thought the best way to start our journey was to get small.
How about a place where we can see 3,000 years of history in miniature?
Mini Turk.
Mini Turkey.
Located in the heart of Istanbul, Mini Turk is like previewing our trip in miniature. 105 models of Turkey's most prominent buildings and monuments are displayed in a huge park. Each building is in 1/25th scale.
That means they are 25 times smaller than the real-life counterpart, or 1/25th the actual size.
It doesn't take long to realize that this country has some incredible sites that are rich in history. Get ready, because we're about to see some of these incredible places, full-sized and for real.
The first coins ever made were minted in Turkey in the 7th century BC. How old is that? How about since before the beginning of recorded time?
Turkey, you're reminded that the world is very old.
We visited the Museum of Anatolian Civilization. This is one of the richest museums in the world. And they have artifacts that date back to the Neolithic Age. Today, that period is known as the Stone Age.
That means it's really, really old. Some of the artifacts in the museum are nearly 10,000 years old. Back when man first began to make tools, and then used the tools to create objects that resembled and celebrated the world around them. As we walked through the museum, it was like watching man grow up. Whoa! The artifacts became more ornate. They became more and more sophisticated. And they were all quite beautiful. It seemed like everywhere we looked, there was another amazing discovery. I love it! Oh, I love it!
The museum is a cool place to see the world through the eyes of ancient humans. It's a place where ordinary things, like jugs to hold water, become art. And it was just a ton of fun.
But we soon found out we didn't have to be in an indoor museum to get a first-hand look at old.
This is Ephesus, an ancient city originally settled thousands of years ago. It eventually became an important part of the Roman Empire, but it was destroyed by the Goths in the 3rd century. As you can see, its wonders and the spirit that built them are still very much alive. It's hard to imagine something so grand could have been built nearly 2,000 years ago without cranes and bulldozers and computers. It's hard to imagine there's even more great stuff to see on our Turkish adventure. But there is.
Almost everywhere you look in Turkey, you can see evil eye charms. Some people think they protect you from evil.
My name is Jonathan Dunn. I'm from Reno, Nevada, and I'm studying here at Yalmanar for my 10th and 11th grade, since the systems are different. So would you guys like to see what's different about our schools compared to schools in America?
Sure.
All right, come on. Firstly, well, we have gates at all of our schools.
Okay.
And we have a security guard.
Okay, we don't have that at our schools.
Well, this is our library. As you can see, it's not like most libraries. And below we have the mosques. Do you guys know what a mosque is? This is our library that's up here, and down below here is also our mosque. This is a normal classroom in Turkey.
Do they sit two together?
Yeah, they do. And unlike in America where we go to other classes, we stay in the same class and the teacher comes to us. This is one of our science rooms, our physics room. And our education system, like how we learn, is much more different in Turkey. In high school, it's all for one test. And that one test says what you can be, what university you can go to. So studying is very, very important, especially here in Turkey.
Did you hear him say that they spend their entire education preparing for one test?
And that test determines what job they will have when they grow up. Whoa.
We'd better get studying.
There's math.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Language.
A, B, C, Ç, D, E, F, G, yumuşak G, H, I, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, Ö, P, R, S, Ş, T, U, Ü, V, Y, Z.
And the arts.
humongous, gigantic mega test. Turkish schools are pretty much like American schools.
Yeah, but that test?
All right, well, that's a normal Turkish school. What'd you guys think?
I liked it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, thanks for the tour.
There are many religions in the world. Judaism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam. In America, Christianity is the most popular form of worshiping God. In Turkey, the most popular religion is Islam.
People who practice Islam are called Muslims. People who practice Christianity are called Christians.
Just like here in America, where not everyone is a Christian, not everyone in Turkey is a Muslim. Christians do worship freely in Turkey. However, not many Christians call Turkey home. That wasn't the case 1,500 years ago. Back then, the region was a very important place for Christians and Christianity.
Remember Ephesus? Well, Ephesus is referred to in the Christian New Testament. Paul's epistle to the Ephesians gives instructions to the church of Ephesus on how to be a better church.
Imagine walking in places that were mentioned in the Bible. Well, we did just that. These are the ruins of St. John's Basilica, a church built upon the tomb of the Apostle John. Christianity teaches that after Jesus went to heaven, his apostles were sent to faraway places to tell about him. The apostles John and Paul traveled to Asia Minor,
Or in Turkey, as it's called today in Turkish.
From this city, St. John and others spread the gospel throughout the whole region.
Remember the story of the birth of Jesus? What was Jesus' mother's name? Right, Mary.
Well, Jesus asked John to take care of his mother after he died. It is believed that John brought her with him to Turkey, and this is her home where she lived. Today, Turkey maintains the site as an important destination for Christians. As we tied a little patch of cloth to symbolize a prayer, we could almost feel St. Mary looking over us.
Awesome.
Throughout Turkey, we found other examples of just how intertwined Christianity is to the fabric of Turkish culture, like the incredible mosaics that decorate the ceilings at the Museum of St. Saviour in Chora,
It was once a church.
and the huge Church of Holy Wisdom, or Hagia Sophia.
For 900 years, it was the biggest church building in the world.
Many important decisions that still affect Christian worship today were made right here. Muslims worship too. They call God Allah and follow the Prophet Muhammad, who wrote their holy book, the Quran. And everywhere in Turkey, you'll see the buildings where Muslims pray to Allah. Mosques. The first thing we learned is that you have to take off your shoes before entering a mosque.
That's done out of respect for Allah by keeping the carpets and the mosque clean.
The Muslim is called to prayer 5 times a day. Call to prayer is heard at dawn, at the midday, about the middle of the afternoon, just after sunset, and at nightfall about 2 hours after sunset.
It was really neat to hear the call to prayer every day. It was like a little reminder to take time and remember to pray.
One thing you'll also notice in Turkey is that many women wear scarves around their heads. These are meant to shroud the face. Muslim tradition requires that both men and women dress modestly in public. And for women, that means covering their heads. In Turkey, scarves come in many shapes and sizes and are very pretty. But since Turkey is a secular nation,
That's a nation separate from the religion of its people, like the United States.
the wearing of scarves is optional. From what we saw, most women and girls cover their heads.
The men and boys dress just like the men and boys in the United States.
One thing is for sure, just like Christianity is very important to many here in America, Islam is a big part of Turkish life.
Amen. Or as Muslims say at the end of their prayers, Ameen.
People in Turkey greet each other with a kiss on the left cheek, followed by a kiss on the right cheek.
Almost every day of our trip, we got to visit people in their homes.
We ate.
We met new friends.
We ate.
We gave and received presents.
We ate.
And we ate.
Like I said, we ate.
Most of the people in Turkey's cities live in apartment buildings. We saw beautiful tiles decorating walls and floors. We climbed lots of stairs to our hosts' homes.
When we arrived, we took off our shoes before going inside.
Then it was time for handshakes and kisses.
And cheek pinching. Blech.
Then we ate.
And ate, and ate, and ate.
First, we had salad with different kinds of breads,
Then there was always some type of soup, often lentils.
followed by appetizers.
We had dishes with noodles and dishes with rice, but most of all, we had dishes with lamb.
We had lamb kebabs, lamb meatballs, shredded lamb, lamb stuffed noodles. It was good that we like lamb.
It was like a Thanksgiving dinner at every meal. But instead of turkey, we had lamb.
After dessert, usually some type of baklava or another sweet, nutty, flaky pastry, we would sit around and talk or take a tour of the house.
We took along photos to show the kids where we live.
We brought along a game that is popular where we live to teach and play with the kids we met. We gave each host family a copy of the game to thank them for hosting us.
And to our surprise, they had gifts for us too.
4. Strange. My name is Nihan.
Most of the people we met did not speak much English, but wanted to try the words they knew. Because we don't speak Turkish,
Except for a few words.
we were glad for translators. Miss Olcay and Mr. Bilal helped us to connect with our hosts and to help us feel at home.
Many visitors to Turkey only get to eat in the wonderful restaurants.
But we were privileged to enjoy Turkish food as it should be, with friends and warm hospitality.
We traveled east. We traveled west. 2 continents. A sea, a strait, city streets, great highways, in the valleys, over mountains. Talk about a map lover's paradise. You should really try this adventurous stuff. It helps keep off the pounds after a full plate of lamb.
I had the chance to learn so many new names, and better yet, new friends. I think when I get older and have children of my own, I'm going to have a really tough time naming them. I mean, how are you supposed to choose just one?
If you're gonna buy stuff in Turkey,
You're gonna need some new lira. That's the currency in Turkey, like our dollar.
when we were there, 1 Turkish new lira was about the same as 75 cents in American money.
Now that we have our Turkish money, take me to the mall.
Turkey's got something better. The Grand Bazaar. The Grand Bazaar in Istanbul is pretty much like a mall, only it's the oldest indoor shopping area in the world.
How bizarre.
It isn't that strange, but it is huge.
The Grand Bazaar was built in the 15th century and is still the largest covered market in the world, with more than 58 streets and 4,000 shops. That's right, 4,000 shops.
They sell everything from jewelry to pottery to perfumes to clothing to food to knickknacks to household supplies and, of course, carpets.
It's a magic Turkish carpets. You're in the Grand Bazaar, the oldest bazaar in the world. You see these rugs? Abracadabra. It changed colors. It's made in the hand. It's magic. It flies. Everybody sleep home. Flies around home. Gorgeous carpet. You touch my carpet. Feel. Very soft. from baby lamb wool.
Turkish carpets are hand-knotted by people with small hands. These well-made carpets have as many as 800 knots per square inch. A carpet the size he showed us can take up to a year to complete.
We didn't find any magic flying carpets, though.
Between 250,000 and 500,000 people shop at these bazaars every day. And it's not just tourists. Everyone in Istanbul shops here.
All this shopping makes me tired. I need a break. How about an excursion to the Asia Spa, one of the most exclusive spas in the country? A trip to Turkey just wouldn't be complete without a Turkish bath and a little of the good life. While very few children get to visit a spa like this one, most kids do spend time relaxing at Turkish baths. And of course, when you're done relaxing, well, you eat again.
Some pamper their bodies while some pamper their minds. I finished up my shopping by doing one of my favorite things to relax. The book bazaar. What more could a girl want?
Children run the government on National Independence and Children's Day, every April 23rd.
Ataturk said, children are a new beginning of tomorrow.
Ada who?
Mustafa Kemal, nicknamed Ataturk, or Father of the Turks, was the founder of the Republic of Turkey.
So, he's like the George Washington of Turkey?
Yeah, something like that, except that he lived less than 100 years ago. His photo is hanging all over the place, especially on 23 Nisan.
That's April 23rd, Turkey's Independence Day.
Because Ataturk believed that children are important, he also declared Independence Day to be Children's Day. On that day, children take over the Grand National Assembly. That means they run the government for a day.
Cool! I declare that we make a new law. Free sugar cubes for everyone!
Other kids perform plays, songs, and dances in their schools or in stadiums for everyone to see.
We got to see thousands of kids in costumes perform in the biggest stadium in Ankara, the capital city.
Kids practice every day at school to prepare for this big day.
And it shows.
After the presentation, we got to meet some of their performers. Of course, I wanted to know their names, so we exchanged contact information.
The kids we met on 23 Nisan and throughout our trip were friendly to us. They always tried out the English they knew.
Yeah, all kids in Turkey have English classes at school. I didn't start learning Turkish until we traveled to Turkey.
And beyond that, we communicated with laughter, hugs, and smiles.
You know, the kids in Turkey are a whole lot like us. They like ice cream,
Cookies,
watching TV, listening to music,
and hanging out with friends.
including new friends like us.
That's pretty cool. didn't even know there was such a place as Turkey. Now I know Turkey is not just a bird, it's a country too.
Turkey was a wonderful experience for me in that I made so many new friends.
They're the most friendliest kids I've ever met.
In the few days that we were there, I saw, learned, and gained a respect and a love for Turkey. I learned so much and had so much fun. Thank you for joining us on our really big field trip. I'm excited for our next adventure.
We hope you can join us!